Hey guys, welcome back to class. If you're interested in seeing more of my videos, please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter to know when I have new content coming out at Brycon_raw. Instagram's also Brycon_raw. Thanks guys. Cheers. So in the last two videos, I've been kind of describing mastery, and this is like a really broad topic because you can master different ways and different things in different ways. So we first talked about the observation stage that kind of gives us this passive mode where we're looking at our environments. We're kind of analyzing, we're sizing things up, we're trying to see where we're at with a lot of things, and of course, what is the dynamic that are stated and unstated. Now, what we start seeing is that we start acquiring some skills. This is the skills acquisition stage. And this is going to be like months of practice. You're going to have to dedicate some time to it. You're going to see different results from different experimentations. But mostly what you're trying to do is have like a core foundation. You have the core skills that are necessary. And after a while, what happens when you master something, you start gaining this tacit knowledge. And this tacit knowledge is something that's basically you can't really explain, but you can demonstrate. And this is sometimes why it's good to have like a mentor, it's good to have like a coach, it's good to have like a peer that you kind of look up to and they kind of look up to you as well, or you know, like an idol, right? You want to start developing the same characteristics, and like we've spoken before about the spiritual aspects of things, and even in charisma, as we start becoming the actors, we start emulating the behaviors and it kind of becomes a part of us. And it's like really simple as possible, but the only way you can figure that out is by seeing the behavior of the master. So it's something that you learn, but it's unconscious. It's almost like subliminal messages. It's just going back in your head. And you'll see that many people that have had mentors, they, like for example, like a boxer, you know, he'll have a coach. They'll say, oh, he kind of looks like his coach when he was in his prime time. You can also learn by yourself, but the thing is that you always want to get feedback from your environments, how you're doing, and the best way to do it is that, you know, sometimes before you even know it, our peers or people that are competitive with us, they'll be the ones that tell us how much we've improved. We won't notice it because we're unconscious of it. But it's once we start looking at our past, we start seeing the change that we've had before. But the thing is that sometimes when it comes to like learning by yourself and learning with a master, some people just become complacent. They don't develop. And what we're trying to do is kind of have this ability to just understand what we're capable of doing and then being able to develop it. Right? It's kind of like learning a language. When you're learning a language, it's very difficult, and then after a while, it becomes like second nature. So this is the learning curve that you have to go through. This is the trial period, and because some people actually fear so much, they don't develop any more than average. Some people just settle for less, and again, in different ways. So what I've seen was that courage is this tipping point where you kind of are forcing yourself to be indifferent to a lot of feedback that you're having, some of the experience that you're having, and then basically this is the moment where you stop taking energy from people. This is when you start taking action and starting putting forth the energy out there rather than inward. You are the only one that's in charge of your growth, right? And your success. So having that understanding makes it a little bit more easier for us to understand that anything below, you know, like a courage level behavior or emotion is basically feeding our ego. And anything above that, it's more spiritual. It's feeding our spirit. So you have to be able to force yourself to get out of your comfort zone. And, you know, sometimes it may seem like it's a lot easier doing it this way because you're just not spending as much energy, but you always feel like you can always improve. So this is the skills that you're trying to acquire, And of course, sometimes with people, when they get mentors, they stay in the shadow. You have to be able to get the skills that you require and then move on. Because what happens is that you're not putting much effort in the different facets that you have. We're multifaceted, right? And then that's when you can start experimenting with different things. And once you feel like you can automatically go into that flow, that's that tacit knowledge once again. And this is very similar to the unconscious competency that people have after going through the stages of understanding what our mind does and being able to pinpoint those, subtle behaviors that we can't really pay attention to, but after a while they become a little bit more inflated, and then we can correct that behavior, and from that creates new behavior. When you start seeing that courage, you have the ability to put yourself out there more to learn at a faster rate. Alright guys, so I'm out and about, what I just talked about.